Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. After my last video where I showed using the blending brush to flick color, I had one comment with a concern about the fact that doing that could wreck the end of the blends. True, that's absolutely true. And I really appreciate the comment because it really made me think outside of the box of how am I going to manage this. So this is the technique that I showed where you take your blend and you flick it against the end or the edge of your marker lid. Absolutely. I usually end up replacing my most common used blends about once a year anyway, because coloring in the embellishments can also tear up the ends of your markers. So the other technique that you can use, so you have to use it with the Stampin' Write markers because the blends don't fit. This is just like an aerator, and Stampin' Up! Used to sell them, but as far as I know, they don't anymore. And you just line the aerator up over the tip of your marker, and you just squeeze. And what it does is it blows ink onto your page. It can be a little bit more concentrated and less random than using the flick method, but it's also effective. And the last way I wanted to show you is you take your ink pad, and I've used Melon Mambo here for a reason, and I'll show it at the end, and you just squish it down so you've got ink in your lid. And then you take an aqua painter or water marker, and you just make sure that it's really, really dry. And then you pick up ink with it, and you can use a bone folder or your finger, and you just flick it down. I'm going to add just a little bit of water, a little bit more. There we go. Now it's a little bit more fluid, and then you can splatter with it. Now it is just a little bit too wet in this case, so I'm just going to damp some off there and pick up a little bit more, and then it gives a different look, a completely different look. Just make sure you clean your water marker off so you don't stain your end there. And I also have more water markers. That's just an old one. So as you can see, when we use the lid flick method, it's more of a defined dot, and it's a consistent ink color. When we use the aqua painter and the ink pad, depending on how much water you use, you get a different splatter. But it can be as dark or as light depending on how much ink is on your brush. And then we've got the Stampin' Write with the aerator that leaves a consistent kind of shape as opposed to a scatter. So thank you so much for watching. Those are some options for you, and let's create together again soon.